Welcome to A Drop of Happy, where we focus on carefree, stress well, light and lively living while reviewing and discussing all things entertainment and wellness. And this is your weekly news roundup. And of course, it's going to be mostly entertainment news, right? We all know there are bad things going on. We all know there are stressful things going on. We all know that sometimes people go through difficult times, nations go through difficult times. We all know that. If you want the news, if you want that kind of news, there's plenty of other places to go for that kind of news. This is not the place. We try to keep it light and educational. You will get a lot of health and wellness stuff, but if you're looking for heavy news roundup, this ain't the place. So let's just do that disclaimer. And if you follow me on A Drop of Happy podcast on TikTok, my main where I post, I try to keep that pretty light and motivational and whatever else. But don't go to my repost. And I don't even repost a lot of the things that I could because again, I try to protect my peace. Because fortunately, I have the privilege to do that because of where I live, the life that I've built for myself, the life maybe that you've built for yourself. But my repost page be very woke. So take that with a grain of salt. Take that the way you want it. But let's hop into our weekly news roundup. I want to talk about Cardi B and Offset. I know. Just real quick. The reason being is, first of all, a breakup, a divorce is on the list of the top 10 stressful life events that somebody can go through. It don't matter who you are. It does not matter who you are. Okay. And then considering these folks have to do it, well, I'm not going to say have to do it in public. They choose to do it in public or they just do it in public or what have you, because Cardi B all over social media, Instagram, wherever. She was, clearly you see she was hurt. But let me just tell you the gist. The gist of it is that she is tired of being cheated on. She is over it and she's leaving for real this time. But that's not the kicker. The kicker is between their going back and forth and trying to one up each other and all that, it was revealed that at one point, in order to, I would say, get back at him for all of his infidelity, that she did cheat as well. And she did it while she was pregnant. So that was a big brouhaha. And I think he was trying to shame her, trying to make her look bad when he said this. She did not care. And that's that when a woman's fed up for real, when she is done, when she is done, she don't care. She don't care. And she was like, and I did and what? That's exactly what she said. I don't remember. I don't know if it was Twitter, Instagram. I don't remember. But the point being is, she's over it. She's done, supposedly. And it was a terrible thing. It was a huge thing. And I bring this up because a lot of times people be judging people for the choices they make in relationships. She had buku money. She could have got buku help. She could have, she could have been left if she wanted to. But even her, in her situation, she stayed to try to work it out, to try to do what's best for her kids because she really loved the man, whatever. And there's some people that are in not in that situation. Maybe they're financially strapped. Maybe they, like, who knows, that stay in these situations for whatever reason that they choose to. Um, and we tend to judge them a lot without even knowing the real circumstance or what have you. Um, but we really have to guard ourselves, guard our minds, guard our hearts, all that, and step back and make really mindful decisions and how this will impact your life. Because going through a breakup, a divorce, a separation, what have you, is, especially if there are kids involved, is super stressful for all that's involved. And it takes a lot to get to that point. I'm sure many people have judged her because allegedly, I heard he cheated like the whole time he was cheating. And every time she went back, people were like, "Oh, you dumb, you stupid. How you?" So that's just that. The other big thing that's been popping off this week in the news, in the entertainment industry, is Beyonce and Jay-Z in the news, of course, because of the whole Diddy situation. Diddy was arrested. Diddy's currently in jail, supposedly in one of the worst jails that he could be in New York. But allegedly, let's just stick to Beyonce, that she lost 4 million followers on Instagram. It's not, she did, but not because of this situation. Um, she's, I think from one of the articles that I read, uh, Instagram has been doing some purging, some cleaning up. So she's been losing those followers. I think she had 320 million in April, and she's been losing them. So the 360 million, that, because you'll see screenshots where they're showing, oh, this is what, no, it wasn't overnight or over since Diddy got fired and since Diddy got arrested. It was actually in August, so it's been a while. It's been an ongoing thing, and the numbers are up and down on how much she gets, how much she loses, and things like that. But yes, she did lose that, but it wasn't because of the situation. Nevertheless, a lot of people are in the comments of her videos just posting that she was responsible for Aaliyah's death, posting all types of stuff that I've never liked you. I mean, we all know you never liked her. This is not news. We all know you never liked her. So, hello. Um, so there's that. So it's there's a little bit of truth, but not, not completely. And speaking of Diddy, so he's in jail, and when there's blood in the water, there's blood in the water. So the lawsuits are piling up while he's in jail. That's it. I don't really have anything more. There was at one point where he was like paranoid, he wasn't eating, and he was trying to get a hold of his children. Blah 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 blah. There's a lot of stuff, but lawsuit. He did plead not guilty. He is trying to testify if he has to take all this mess. The point being is lawsuits are piling up, especially now that he's in jail. Piling up. So there's that. And back to the Beyonce thing. Imagine building your career up, or actually anybody who's been to his parties, which a lot of people have been to Diddy's parties. Maybe they didn't stay for the freak off, for the after party, because I think he was on the Ellen show and they showed a clip of him talking, and she was just like, "Oh yeah, she heard about those parties or whatever," and he was just like, "Nah," but she was like, "The after party is a different kind of party," and there was definitely some innuendo there. So, but it's a lot of people that is in the limelight, the light is being shined on. But imagine you've built your career that you've worked so hard for, and now because one person, it is in jeopardy. And imagine that you probably imagine amongst that list, there probably are some people that are guilty of something, maybe. So imagine that being in jeopardy. Let me tell you something. They say he's not nervous anymore. They say he's doing well. His spirits are high. But I wouldn't be eating either. I wouldn't be eating. I wouldn't be drinking. I would be like, somebody's gonna try to kill me. If what they say is true, for everything that he has on these people, if that is true, yeah, I'd be sleeping with one eye open, because I would think somebody gonna take me out. Somebody gonna Epstein me. So I think I've said it before. I'm saying it again. And I think I had talked about creating your own demise. Since we're on that, since we're in New York and we're on New York, can we talk about Mayor Adams? So hey, these people are wilding out. Like, first of all, black man, you've worked your way up to this level, and did you cheat your way up? What really went down? So if you don't know, Mayor Eric Adams was brought up on federal corruption charges. So this article is from NBC News, and it reads, New York City Mayor Adams pleads not guilty to federal corruption charges, which I think it's about like $10 million that he misused or stole or forced. Man. New York City Mayor Eric Adams stepped into a Manhattan courtroom and into the history books Friday when he was arraigned on federal corruption and bribery charges that could force him out of office. I am not guilty, Your Honor, Adams, in a confident voice, told federal magistrate Judge Catherine Parker during a brief court appearance in Manhattan. Adams, who was dressed in a dark suit with a white shirt and red tie, was told not to talk to any of the witnesses named in the indictment. He shall have no contact with any individual witnesses or others listed in the list to be provided by government concerning the facts or circumstances as provided in the indictment, Parker said. Adams was allowed to leave without having to post bail. His next court appearance has been scheduled for Wednesday. We will be filing a motion to dismiss on Wednesday, Adams' lawyer Alex Spiro told the judge. When it was over, Adams avoided making contact with anyone as he left the courtroom, and once outside, he gave a thumbs up to a small waiting crowd, which included a heckler yelling, "Lock him up." Because let's pause. Who are you giving a thumbs up to, sir? I heard the people in New York don't even like you. That's what I heard. That's what I heard. So who are you giving a thumbs up to? And again, I don't know this man. I'm just hearing all this stuff. But how you gonna be your own villain? How you gonna supposedly he's been in crazy positions before, and I've read that he's gonna somehow weasel out of this and yada yada yada. But you know, it's still not a good look. It's still not a good look at all, you know? So it goes on to say the alleged international pay-to-play scheme that ensnared Adams began after he became after he became Brooklyn Borough President in 2014. God dang, this goes back 10 years. And helped to underwrite his successful mayoral campaign 7 years later, the indictment says. In return for free travel benefits and illegal campaign contributions, Adam performed favors for his foreign benefactors, including pressuring the New York Fire Department to allow a Turkish consulate building to open despite serious safety concerns, the indictment says. Listen, because the scheme, the indictment says, continued into this year, even after federal officers seized Adams' electronic devices and raided the home of his chief fundraiser. This was a multi-year scheme to buy favor with a single New York City politician on the rise. Listen, the doo-doo goes deep. In a little bit of TV news, all right, I don't really watch Dancing with the Stars. My mama watches it. My girlfriend watches it. There's a lot of people that watch it, but I haven't watched it. I can't remember the last time I watched it, but I did see a clip of Anna Deley. And my God, in the clip I saw, yeah, the girl was awful. The girl was awful. And if you don't know who Anna Deley is, she was the quote unquote socialite. Well, she pretended to be, allegedly. Well, no, she went to jail for it. So I don't need to say allegedly. She went to jail for stealing people's money and pretending to be a socialite. She went to jail for stealing people's money, but she was pretending to be a socialite, and that's how she stole the people's money and defrauded people out of money and yada, yada, yada. So she went to jail for it, and she's still on house arrest with her little ankle monitor, but she was on Dancing with the Stars, bedazzled ankle monitor, and all that good stuff. There is a special about her, and that special had everybody hooked. I know I watched that special on Netflix about her scheming ways. Anyway, she got kicked off, and she's whack. Her response, she's just, listen. Anna Deley explains why she'll take nothing from Dancing with the Stars experience. Waste of time. This article is on Deadline. So basically the gist of it is she's just like, oh, they really made a big whoop about me coming here, like almost like, they were gonna have my back, whatever. They said, got her all this stuff to come on the show. Well, duh. Yes, they build you up so they can get ratings, so they can build people to come in to see you. But if you were good, so her problem was she was just like, I did everything they said. Let me just read some of what she said, because I'm definitely probably not doing it justice. All right. So it's safe to say Anna Deley is putting away her dancing shoes. After the recent ousting, Dancing with the Stars contestant told co-host Julianne Hall she'd take nothing away from the experience on season 33 of ABC's competitive reality show. She recently explained, because that was the truth. You guys told me what I was supposed to do. I tried to do it. And then I was still rejected, said Deley on co-star Tori Spelling, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And I'm taking away nothing. This is what I'm taking away from it, because your advice was worthless. Let me pause. No, let me not. Let me keep reading. The advice did not pay off for me, even though I tried to follow it. And this is how I felt. I know people were trying to interpret my answer in different ways, but no, not really. I really did not take away much from this experience. She continued, I think I had to be on the defensive, especially after all the backlash that I received being cast on the show. Even though the producers tried to defend me, and I think everyone on the cast was generally very nice to me. But in the end, I don't know. Delvey and partner Ezra Sosa were eliminated in week 2, along with Spelling and partner Pasha Pashkov. The convicted fraudster said the early elimination was a bit upsetting to me, and her experience felt like a waste of time just to discard me so easily, adding, because I felt like, well, they were building me up. It's like, oh well, only if you smile more, only if you do like XYZ. It's going to be so much better for you. And I felt like they put so much effort trying to get me on the show, like make me feel comfortable just to eliminate me this early. Delvey wore a bedazzled ankle monitor during her time on the show after she was convicted for grand larceny and other charges in April 2019. The Russian German immigrant was released from ICE custody on October 2022 and put on house arrest in Manhattan. So here's the thing. Here's the thing, darling. You got to be good to stay on the show. Clearly, what they were telling you, maybe you didn't implement. Because from the little clip that I saw, sis, you were not good. I'm surprised you made it to the second. I mean, do they eliminate on the first show? Or maybe they eliminate on the second show, and that's why you got eliminated. Because let me tell you, it was not good. It was not good. And you surprised because of course they're gonna talk you up and they're gonna try like what did she think she was going on a freebie gimme? Girl, bye. And this is why, like there was a little bit of an entitlement there, right? There's a little bit of like, well, they got me on, so I should have stayed for a little while longer. Girl, they try to get everybody on that'll get them ratings. What do you mean? What do you mean? You know what's crazy? Because I just wouldn't. I mean, I guess she has to make money. I don't know. Do they pay that? Listen, I don't know. But how do you think you were? You were not good. This at the end of the day, you were not good. That's it. From the clip that I saw, and I know people, if you saw it, please chime in. She was bad, bedazzled or not. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for you, ma'am. I am. Again, if you want to see the article yourself, you could just Google it. It's on Deadline. Anna Deley, Deadline. It'll pop up. So this isn't really TV. It's more streaming TV, kind of streaming TV. Well, yeah, because this is about Ellen and her show. I mean, her show's not coming back, so good on that. But she does have a new Netflix special that debuted last week. And it got a 43% on Rotten Tomatoes. Some of the articles and opinion articles that have been written, they're saying it's not funny. And truthfully, I don't know if anybody's watching it because she's supposed to be funny, or if they're watching it just to see what she's going to say, because this is the first time that she's really talked publicly since her show got canceled and it came out that she was mean and toxic and all that stuff. So that's why I think people are going to watch it. I not because they're like, oh yeah, I want to see, but supposedly it's not funny, and a lot of people aren't feeling it. Again, 43% on Rotten Tomatoes, but I think on Google it 59% likes. So I don't know if I'm gonna watch it. Who's gonna watch it? I'm curious. It's supposedly her last one too, but who knows? But here's the thing. Okay, I've talked about I've talked about resilience. I'm going to talk about it again because when your life implodes, right, and Now you have to rebuild. Listen, she was making bank. Okay, she was making buku dollars on that show, and now that income is gone. It's not the same. I'm sure she had plenty saved up. I know it's not the same for regular folk like you and me, because I lose my job now, I am crying. I mean, I'll get another one. Like, let's be so for real. But what if I'm disgraced? What if I lose my license, my nursing license? What is a girl going to do? Like, right? So that's where, and I'm guessing that's where she's at. So is it really gonna be her last, or is she gonna retire? Like, what's the plan, sis? Is this your last comedy special? You gonna retire? Oh, the title is Ellen DeGeneres for Your Approval. It's on Netflix, playing now. Are you gonna watch it? I don't know. Am I gonna watch it? I don't know. But real talk, she could retire. She could retire. She could this be her last thing. You know what? Your career, you made bank. Hopefully you did not spend it all like some of these people do. She's 66 years old. Go retire and chill. Don't stress. Live your good best life and reflect on how you could have just been a better person and still be having your show. Which again goes back to what I was saying a few shows back. Don't be a shit person. It would make, not to say that nice people don't get poo-pooed on, but don't be a shit person. That would be like half your battle. Now, I don't mean to segue into this when I'm talking about ish people, but just FYI, this just FYI, Kanye West announces new album, Bully, that's the name of the album, and previews new music at a China concert. Again, no correlation. It's just who I had. I don't think he's an ish person. I think he's an unwell person. Are y'all gonna get the album? It doesn't say when, it doesn't say whatever, it just says new album. So we don't, that's it. That's all we know. So if you're on the YouTube and you notice some of your music is not playing, well, over on TechCrunch, there is an article that talks about YouTube blocks videos from Adele, Green Day, Bob Dylan, others in dispute with SESAC. I don't know if you say SESAC. It's an acronym. So a number of YouTube videos featuring music from artists such as Adele, Green Day, Bob Dylan, Nirvana, and REM have been unplayable in the United States since Friday. For example, if you try to play Dylan's Like a Rolling Stone, you are instead told the video contains content from SESAC. It is not available in your country. Sometimes you even get to watch a pre-roll ad before you see the message. Oh, which is messed up. That's diabolical. Don't make me watch no ad and then I can't even watch the video. That's disrespectful. Don't do that. Don't do that to me. Because I don't even want to watch the ad anyway. Okay, however, not all videos featuring these artists are blocked. It's not clear whether the playable videos are exempt from the current dispute or if they've simply been overlooked. In a statement to the press on social media, YouTube blamed the situation on failed negotiations with SESAC, whatever, a performing rights group that says it represents more than 35,000 music artists and publishers. Unfortunately, despite our best efforts, we were unable to reach an equitable agreement before its expiration, YouTube said. We take copyright very seriously, and they do. I'm going to pause. And they do. Like, YouTube's like, we ain't trying to get sued in no way. Like, no. Because one little, yeah, they do take it seriously. I would, as a user and as well, I'm trying to, let's focus, but they do. We take copyright very seriously, and as a result, content represented by SESAC is no longer available on YouTube in the US. We are in active conversation with them and are hoping to reach a new deal as soon as possible. So it goes on to talk about the same thing that happened on TikTok with UMG. And there's a lot of like there's so much. I really wish they could get it together and come to an agreement, because sometimes I'll be wanting to use some sounds on some videos and I can't because it's not on there, and it's annoying, and I don't even bother anymore because then I gotta search, and when I search it's not on there. So I wish they would work that out, but it seems like YouTube is still trying to work it out. If you're interested in the article, just do a search. It's actually on TechCrunch, and it's YouTube blocks videos. And actually, this was just one. There's plenty of articles on it if you're interested in learning about more. And the last thing, I haven't gone to the movies in a while. I haven't gone to the movies in a while, and well, I haven't done a lot of things in a while. I'm really trying to get my life together. I'm always trying to get my life together. Let's be so for real. But this is like a box office roundup, right? So this article is in AP News, and Megalopolis flops. The Wild Robot soars at box office. First of all, before I go into the article, Mega who? Mega what? I didn't. I think I may have seen a flash of the preview, and that one guy who's in there. What is his name? The guy that played the guy that played in Star Wars. I saw a flash. Adam Driver. And Giancarlo Esposito. There's a lot of people in there, but I couldn't tell you what it's about. I could not tell you what it's about. I don't know. It looked like a space movie, I think, and I do love me a good sci-fi, but it flopped. And the Wild Robot, which I'm very happy. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little concerned about the Wild Robot. Because not for nothing, I wasn't interested in seeing it. But I wanted Lupita to be successful because she was like the driver of it. So she was the main character. So I wanted it to be successful. But I wasn't really feeling to seeing it. And now that I've seen some people talking about it made them cry, y'all already know. I don't purposely go into movies knowing that I'm gonna cry. I don't purposely go into movies to scare the living daylights out of me. I used to love a good scary movie, but and I might still watch one. But cry, but like, oh no, So I may not see this one at all, but I'm happy it did well. So the article, it's on AP News. Francis Ford Coppola, decades in the making, self-financed epic Megalopolis flopped with moviegoers, while the acclaimed DreamWorks animation family film, The Wild Robot, soared to number one at the weekend box office. The Wild Robot, Chris Sanders' adaptation of Peter Brown's bestseller, outperformed expectations. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. All right, relax. To launch with 35 million in ticket sales in the US and Canadian theaters. The Wild Robot was poised to do well after critics raved about the story of a shipwrecked robot who raises an orphan gosling. Audiences agreed, giving the film a A. Cinema score. Wild Robot is likely set up a long and lucrative run for the Universal Picture release. All right. Okay, okay. The Wild Robot may take a page from the Elemental playbook by opening to a respectable box office and then looking towards long-term playability. Pixar's Elemental. Okay, I never saw that. I think it's streaming now. This is Elemental. It's streaming, and so here's the thing. My kids aren't little. Although my daughter still likes to watch her animated features, but my kids aren't little. So I really don't have a reason to go see those movies. You know what movie I do want to see though? If Imaginary Friend. It's on Paramount, which I have. I just hadn't gotten around to it yet, but I do want to see it. Um, so let's see. The Wild Robot wasn't a sequel. Debuted with a modest 30 million, but went on to gross. Oh, Elemental. Okay. I see. They're talking about Elemental. Elemental debuted to a modest 30 million and went on to gross nearly 500 million worldwide. What? So I didn't know it did that well. Okay. Huh. Nice. Okay, let's talk about Megalopolis. Megalopolis. I just like saying that. Megalopolis. Okay, let's relax. Megalopolis. Coppola's vision of a Roman epic set in a modern day New York. Oh, where the heck did I get a sci-fi? Wait. Oh, that's bad. This goes to show you how much I had no idea about this in child. Was never expected to perform close to that level, but the film's $4 million debut was still sobering for a movie that Coppola bankrolled himself for $120 million. Sir, sir? So you just wasted 100. I mean, I'm not going to say you wasted it because you employed a lot of people. You kept a lot of people working, and I'm talking about the camera people, the set design, all that. You kept a lot of people employed. So it was not a waste. But sir, my God. Okay. Following its premiere at the Cannes Music Festival, geez Louise, at the Cannes Film Festival, critics have been mixed on Coppola's first film in 13 years. Audiences gave in a D plus cinema score. Ooh, that's not good. By any financial measure, Megalopolis was a mega flop. It was. But from the start, the 85-year-old Coppola maintained money wasn't his. Well, obviously, money wasn't his concern. I couldn't even finish a sentence. You know what? He said, and I quote, "Everyone's so worried about money." Yes, we are. Because we don't got it. We don't got it to just be like, oh, let me. I say, give me less money and give me more friends. Well, do your friends got money? It's easy for you to say that. It's you. It's easy for you to say that, and we're just going to leave it at that. To wrap up the box office, after 3 weeks atop the box office, Tim Burton's Beetlejuice slid to the second place with 16 million in its fourth week of release. The Warner Brothers sequel to the 1988 Beetlejuice, starring Michael Keaton and Winona Ryder, has amassed 250 million domestically in a month of release. Okay. The third place went to Transformers 1. The Transformers prequel, starring Chris Hemsworth and Brian Tyree Henry, after its lower than expected debut last weekend, the Paramount release collected 9.3 million in its second weekend. And I meant to see that one too. I I did. I wasn't like, oh my gosh, I gotta go see it. But maybe if I have the time, I'll go see it this week. Megalopolis was even bested by the Indian Telugu language action film Devara Part 1. It grossed 5.1 million in its opening weekend. Good enough for fourth place. Dang. Also debuting in theaters was Jason Reitman's Saturday Night, an affectionate dramatization of the sketch comedy institution on the night it first aired in 1975. Oh, that's kind of cute. Um, okay. So number one was Wild Robot. Number two was Beetlejuice. Three was Transformers. Two was that Devora Part 1. Oh, shoot. Dang. Five was Speak No Evil, which I haven't seen that either. I heard it's all right. Six was Megalopolis. Deadpool and Wolverine is still up there. They were seven. My Old Ass. I don't even know what that is. Never Let Go. And then The Substance. Those were the top 10 for this past weekend. So if you are interested in going to the theaters, you can still see some of these and contribute to these people's fat pockets. Yeah, I didn't even know about Megalopolis. And I totally got that wrong because here I'm thinking it's sci-fi. It didn't say anything about being this. I wouldn't know. I would not know. Anyway, that is your week roundup. And remember to live light and stress well. If you like the show, share, come back, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. I have I have a lot of health and wellness stuff coming up too. So, all right, remember to live light and stress well.